I really wonder. That's for me. It's the cool thing about being in this business, but it's also a very scary part because the question becomes, what the fuck are we going to do or be relevant in?
And while it's scary on the business side, it's also scary on the consumer side. It's like, what are they doing with my data, right? But the reality of it is people implementing personalization see a 40% uptick in the revenue, right? So it's here to stay.
Wow.
And AI-driven personalization, especially.
Really?
Yeah.
We talked to Frumly. Do you guys know?
Frumal,
It's
yeah.
Frumal. It's an Antwerp.
Great company.
And we had a podcast with them too, and it was so amazing to see what these guys are thinking about.
So if you talk to them, the hardest part to get personalization right is to get the right signals and get the right events in, and make sure that that data comes in with the right quality. And that's for us the next step in the product roadmap. We're starting with focusing on the KPI monitoring, but then we want to extend to the data observability and data quality monitoring on the long run.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it bears repeating as well, because it's something I think this went by very fast, but it's like the reason that we have such trust in Revend, and I also think because the reason that we started it is when we looked at the market, and especially Alex's experience in this market, like the 40% measure that you just said, like if you do good personalization, like revenue just jumps by 40%. That's amazing. So we're like, every company that is thinking about this seriously will do it. And when you do it, like mistakes are bound to happen. And that's where Revend can help, because as a marketeer, that's what's going to be your day-to-day job. So we think like
your peek into the black box of what is actually happening or what is maybe going wrong.
And that's what I like about it commercially, because we're not going into companies telling them this is everything you're doing wrong. We're going like, wow, you're already on a great track. You're doing all the right things, like personalization, you have to do that. Like recommendation engine, you have to do that. You have built a beautiful stack around your e-commerce platform. Like we're here to say like it's very hard to keep track of everything, and your IT department is probably doing that right now. As a marketeer, you want some visibility on that as well. That's what we're here for. We're not saying like you have to reconfigure everything or this is what you're doing wrong. We're saying like if you're doing all of these right things, here's a tool to make sure that what you're doing right is being constantly optimized, and you can have a meaningful discussion around that. Because Revend begins where there's an interesting stack to observe. That's where we come in. If you're very, very early and just starting out, we're overkill. If you're already super advanced, we're underkill, let's say, but in between, that's where we can help. We start where you're already on a good track, and Revend's service as a tool ends when we say, listen, this is what we've observed, it's up to you what you do with it. So we're not gonna then say, press here and you make changes, because then IT is gonna, and I understand, they're gonna be like, what is this tool that thinks that they can do better what we're doing? We can't. We can just give you the information so you can, make your decision hopefully more informed and with less resistance from marketing. Because if marketing knows better what's going on, or let's say has a clearer way of communicating that without having to dig into the data himself, again, we think everybody wins.